Hello there, world of tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I am finally making a review with the Kampfpanzer 50-ton actually in my garage. This is a Tier 10 German collector medium, a vehicle that was in testing over 1 year ago. And Wargaming has kind of released this tank in the past. They had these like super duper collection containers where you had like a 0.00.3% chance to get your hands on this vehicle, which was basically a negative chance. And then they also released this special birthday container, which could possibly contain it. Also, an incredibly abysmal chance. This was the rarest vehicle in Blitz for a very long time. However, now it is released, and that is why I'm very pleased to have this tank in my garage. So, what we're going to be doing in today's video, first of all, is going over the crates, because they are in crates. Now, the good news is that there are charms for the crates, so at least if you are planning on dropping an exorbitant amount of money on this vehicle like I did, then you can get it guaranteed. For us bottom feeders that don't want to drop a $100 to try and get your hands on a new tier 10, really just don't drop your money on it. A single container is gonna drop you $10 in the negative. That is a lot of money. 3 containers is 10,000 gold. Yeah. Oh boy, it cost me 35,000 gold for the bundle I got. Thankfully, as you can see, I've got a bajillion gold in my account. I bought a bunch during one of the events, and now I've just been riding it along for the past year. But yeah, in general, please do not waste your money on these crates unless you are planning on getting all the charms. With that aside, in today's video, I'm going to be doing a full down review on this tank. Well, not full down. I will do one in the future. But for now, we're going to be breaking into the armor profile, its statistics, and how it plays on the battlefield, followed with some ace tanker gameplay. So, let's first of all start off with the statistics of this tank. What is good and what is bad? Well, there is one thing I want to point out that I doubt any other YouTuber will point out, and that is this vehicle still has APCR for standard ammunition. That means that this is basically one of the only mediums that carries APCR for standard ammo. For example, the E50M, M48 Patton, M60, Leopard 1, T22 Medium 62A, 907, 140, 4202, STB-1, 121, 121B, AMX-30B, Progetto, and TVP all fire AP ammunition, and that is for the very simple reasoning that in Update 9.1, Wargaming changed every single medium, but I think they just forgot the Kampfpanzer. So I'm actually going to contact Wargaming about this mistake, and if it gets changed, you know who to thank. But with that aside, APCR is a bit of a disadvantage because it has less shell normalization, so it actually is a little bit worse off than the other mediums when it comes to its standard ammo. Thankfully, it does have the pretty solid 330mm of heat pen when it comes to Kali with it. I would suggest to run Kali on most of your mediums. I've been doing a little bit of dabbling with Rammer throughout the past month, and I gotta say, I just personally prefer Kali. It's just better for me. I like the penetration. So when it comes to this vehicle, pretty good heat pen overall, and it will cut through most heavy tanks frontally, but still got to be careful against those big old E100 turrets nowadays. When it comes to the vehicle's DPM, it is 3,420, and that's with Kali. With Rammer, this thing has 3,678, which makes it, I think, the second highest DPM now. Yes, because as you can see, the gun Rammer on the Leopard is 3,772, making it just a bit more. However, there are some big advantages for the Kampfpanzer 50-ton, like its armor we'll be breaking into in just a moment. So, when it comes to gun depression, 8 degrees, not bad at all. When it comes to damage, 320, which is a bit different than the Leopard. The Leopard has 360. This has a much faster rate of fire, at only around a 5.6 second reload for 320 alpha. I'm not really sure where to sit. I think the Alpha is pretty cool because it creates this new type of playstyle and dynamic for a tier 10 medium. So overall, I'm digging this vehicle. Accuracy is great at .308 and dispersion and all that. Aiming time, 3.2 seconds, so fantastic there. When it comes to the mobility, 60 kilometers per hour forward, 20 in reverse, and a pretty dang good power to weight of 19.8, so it's not a slow vehicle. And I should point out that this thing's actually quite heavy at 50 tons, making it fantastic for ramming. Overall, the Kampfpanzer 50 ton seems pretty dang good to me statistically. Let's take a look at its armor profile and see if it makes or breaks the vehicle. Here we are with the Leopard 1 firing AP ammunition. Now the upper plate, as you can see, is actually pretty decent. It's around 266 millimeters thick, and that's on the flat. That means if you're using the 8 degrees of gun depression this vehicle does carry, well, yeah, that upper plate is basically an auto ricochet. Even if you're firing heat shells, you have no chance of penetrating that upper plate as it's upwards of 470 millimeters thick. As well, the turret, you can see, he's got some very, very thick spots. 429, 430, so pretty good over there. Even the weakest spots in the turret are 285 millimeters thick, actually making the Kampfpanzer quite a strong vehicle for how its gun statistics are on the DPM, and as well how mobile it is. It really is insane on that armor. Even just using slight gun depression, you can see that upper plate is an auto ricochet to most shells, and even heat just stands literally no chance. What a strong upper plate. Now, I would personally suggest to run enhanced armor. It goes from about 260 to 270 millimeters thick, which means especially if you're hull down, that upper plate is going to go very, very thick from 449, 434. So I would personally suggest to run enhanced armor on this vehicle, especially because it's only 100 hit points. When it comes to the side armor, you'll notice that it does have a very troll spot here, but I wouldn't really suggest to side scrape unless you're really at a very steep angle because, yeah, the sides are incredibly weak, only at around 70 millimeters thick. As well, the rear of this vehicle, only 100 on the lower part, only about 120 on the upper part. Now, that does mean HE shells are actually going to struggle to pen you, but that's not the same case for the turret, only being about 70 millimeters thick. So, if you want to HE pen the Kampfpanzer, don't shoot at the rear, actually shoot at the turret, unless you want to shoot that little box there, but good luck hitting that. I'd just shoot at the rear of the turret if I were you. So either way, armor-wise, this tank is actually quite strong. Overall, the Kampfpanzer, it's actually got some pretty good statistics going for it. The main question I feel a lot of people want to know is, how would I rate the Kampfpanzer? Is it one of the best tier 10 mediums, or is it down somewhere a little lower? And what I would say is it's definitely not the best medium. It's not an overpowered tank. A vehicle like the T-22 medium example, next to me, has better turret armor, it's got better hull armor, it's got better side armor. The only real advantage I have over the T-22 medium is, I guess, DPM, but you don't really get to use the DPM, obviously, if you're a bit of a weaker vehicle. For example, the Leopard 1 might have ridiculous DPM, but how often do you actually get to use that true, raw, unfiltered DPM? And that's the exact same thing for the Kampfpanzer. It's strong, it does have some good armor here and there, but a T-22 is still going to be a better tank for a beginner, or just a player trying to get away with a lot more than they can chew. When it comes to the E50M, I still think the E50M is also a better tank because, well, the E50M's got ridiculous mobility, E50M's got ridiculous turret armor after update 9.2. It's got great DPM, great accuracy, and yeah, I mean, E50M is just an absolutely crazy tank. And judging that vehicle's free, yeah, I'd also say the E50M is just about on par with this tank, a little bit better due to its armor profile. Now, that's not to say this vehicle is bad. It's not bad by any means. It's an absolutely amazing tank, but it does require a bit more skill than a vehicle like the E50M or the T-22 medium, so therefore I would rate it a little bit lower for the average player. Now, if you are a very skilled player and you're looking for the next best tank, I do think that this kind of combines all the attributes of a Leopard 1 combined with an E50M, which means you get kind of the best of both worlds. It's got great armor, plus great mobility, plus it's also got great DPM. And when you add all those together, I mean, you're going to see just what I'm able to do with that in this game, already up to 2,243 damage, just absolutely badonkering the enemy. The DPM on this vehicle feels amazing. Even though I'm running Cali on this tank, you can still see the gun just keeps on slapping and slapping. You'll also notice that our armor has done a decent job this game. We got a nice bounce from that 60 TP, it seems like, on our turret, and then we also got a pretty nice bounce from the 752 on our side armor, as I was able to angle it correctly. It was pretty obvious that that enemy FE4202 was going to poke his side there, and now we're going to try and aim in on that T92. Boom, straight into his turret. Goodbye. Alright, well, we've just broken 3,000 damage, which means we still got a lot to go. We got, well, the 60 TP. Unfortunately, that shell just went a bit above him. And, well, we got the 183. Well, let's get one shell in. I know that's a bit risky, but I don't care. Even if I get heshed by that 183, we got enough health at this point to tank a shell from him. 3,700 damage dealt. Alright, so as you can see, at this point, I'm just going to side scrape. I know the 183 is going to pen me. I didn't know he was going to pen me for that much, but I knew that he was going to pen me. I just wanted to get my damage out on him because now we're up to 4,300. You can see just how quickly this tank racks up that insane DPM value. 4,600 damage dealt, going to load a heat shell, and oh, 4,878. We got one vehicle left, and that is the M6 Yo. Okay, let's make our way over to the O. Come here, I want to touch you. Don't take that out of context, even though you definitely will. Very easy shot into the O on the rear. You can see the overall on-movement dispersion isn't bad. And finish off this game with a ram in the butt. As you can see, this vehicle is actually quite good at ramming due to that frontal armor and the 50 tons of weight. Overall, the Kampfpanzer 50 ton seems like a pretty dang strong vehicle to me. Definitely not worth the price Wargaming's asking, but hey, maybe if it comes out cheaper in the future, this will be a vehicle to keep your eye out on. I'm very excited to try this vehicle out tomorrow. It's currently almost 4 a.m. at the time of recording today's video. That's why I'm not even doing a double helping of gameplay. I feel like death. Gotta feed my dog in 4 hours, so yeah, I am just getting this video out. Hopefully you enjoyed, and let me know what you think about this tank in the comments. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.